Think of implementation as a multi-year process requiring three critical steps. First, inquiry and communication is about the why. Teachers, students, parents, administrators, and school board members all need to understand why we need to shift to standards-based learning. This involves everyone engaging in the research and comparing it to the outcomes of current practice. Second, capacity building is a combination of why and what. After we have committed to a new belief system, we can start to examine and make changes to our current classroom practices. Then we can start to outline the structures that need to be in place district-wide for implementation. This looks different in every school district, but successful districts report that capacity building is the foundation of implementing change. It involves all staff engaging in staff development related to standards and learning targets, providing actionable feedback, determining acceptable evidence of proficiency of standards, and providing instruction grounded in formative assessment and interventions. Third, development is the what and how. This is when we, both as a district and as individual sites, determine what kind of changes may need to be made to the gradebook, to the course syllabus, and to grading policies. To make this more clear, let's look at our district's journey during the past few years and look forward towards changes in the next 2 to 4 years. Standards-based learning is not a new initiative. Schools across the country, in Minnesota, and in the Twin Cities metro area have been using standards-based practices for many years. Many of our middle and high schools have been working in the inquiry and capacity building levels for a few years. Our elementary buildings have been using a standards-based report card for over 5 years, and parents in our system have commented on how differently students are graded as students move from elementary to secondary. Anoka-Hennepin course curriculum is already aligned to standards, and we have spent many years aligning instruction to the standards. This has required us to go through the rigorous unpacking the standards work, aligning curriculum, and writing common assessments. There is still work to be done ensuring that we assess the standards with accuracy and integrity, but we have established a culture of standards-based instruction. Moving to standards-based grading will allow us to report learning in the same way we teach. Prior to this school year, many building sites conducted book studies both within collaborative teams and across buildings, resulting in pockets of innovation and teachers wanting to address the inconsistent assessment and grading practices that were being uncovered within CTs and across buildings. The middle schools began essential benchmark work aimed at pulling apart the standards. This has led to our teachers asking for changes requiring more systemic alignment to our grading practices. As a result, we started a district-wide standards-based instruction task force to help provide direction and support for the journey. This school year has been about building capacity. We started the year together with Tom Schimmer, helping us develop a shared vocabulary around standards-based learning and challenging us to examine our grading practices. Each building site continued to work throughout the year during staff development days, collaborative team meetings, and staff meetings. Teachers led the work at their site, developing new models of reporting, repacking and assessing learning targets, providing actionable feedback, and aligning course syllabi. As collaborative teams across the district reviewed and incorporated more consistent grading policy, teachers requested changes to the current gradebook. The district's technology team began looking for ways to accommodate CTs who want to align their grading to standards, and we expect to be able to pilot new models through a soon-to-be-announced early adopters process. Capacity building is not limited to teaching staff, however. It also extends to our community, especially parents and students, and the school board. What might development actually look like in 2018-19? Our standards-based task force is comprised of teachers, principals, and district administrators. This task force has been charged with developing an implementation plan unique to our district. Responsibilities at the district level include coordinating a communication plan and developing an early adopters plan that includes those who are excited to pilot modified grading and reporting practices within our current Synergy gradebook format. It's important to note, however, that changes to the gradebook can't occur without a solid foundation of defined learning targets and balanced assessment. It is impossible to jump to a new gradebook without significant curriculum work in every department to agree on learning targets by unit, ensure that formative and summative assessments are tied to learning targets for each unit, and create plans for reassessments and interventions. Only after we have completed this work in our departments can we truly communicate the mastery of learning targets in classes and in the gradebook. This work will also require us to research and develop standards-based best practices in a plan for our special education and English learners. This work will be the focus of summer curriculum writing and professional development during the school year. At the site level, principals and collaborative teams will align site practices around our agreed-upon district belief statements. This may require re-examining our grading policies. Collaborative teams will articulate what evidence will be accepted that students have learned, align their formative assessments to learning targets, and design relearning opportunities. As we move into 2019-20 and beyond, teachers will likely see more changes in the actual gradebook and report card itself. The early adopters group will pilot several reporting options before recommending a new format for the 2020-21 school year. This will require significant communication to our parents, students, community, and school board, as well as professional development for teachers. In summary, this is truly a multi-year process requiring a significant mindset shift. During the remainder of the afternoon, you will have the opportunity to share with your colleagues how your beliefs have shaped your practices this year. This is a time to learn from each other and celebrate the work that has been done. It is a time to challenge each other and ourselves to design a system of instruction, assessment, and reporting that meets the needs of students, teachers, and our community. This is not an easy task, but if anyone can do it, it is the professionals in the Anoka-Hennepin School District.